Hello, friends and neighbors. Swaggy Man Piper 1926 here. Let me try and adjust you a little bit. Might be hair high. And I jostle the table, so the phone may fall. I don't really have a stand for it in the house. Just thought we could talk a little bit. And maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Got a on Dr. Graybill here. A Viscount Dr. Graybill. Imported briar. It says patent and it gives a number. And I really can't. Oh, I'm not going to try and read the patent because I need better glasses for that. But this is a Adjust-O-Matic. Not sure how much adjustment you can do because it's one with a stinger. But this is kind of a little video conversation. If somebody, or for somebody, if you want to, or you come across a family member's pipe, and it's, one of them's got the, you're low, or you're higher than I'm thinking. It's got the cake all around, and if you don't know what cake is, I've got several pipes here with me. See if I can find a candidate. Yeah, this is gonna have to do. So, if you can see some of the, it's not a smooth thing there, kind of like craggly type stuff there at the top. And you can see, if I can show you, there you go, how the chamber kind of thins down a little bit. It's kind of hard to see that way. It's carbon in the bowl. And depending on the pipe that you receive or you find or whatever, some of them that I've come across, there's just enough room for a pencil. Like a brand new, pencil where the eraser is not completely chewed off. Or a check tool, if you're familiar with that is. Anyway, so typically you don't want that much cake in there, and you would ream it out. So some of you seasoned pipe smokers out there use a case knife, or if you don't know what that is, it's an old word for a butter knife. Or you may have something like this little jewel, which is a grand tool, in my opinion. You stick it in said bowl, like so, and twist. And, once it moves, once it moves freely, you adjust it. And you can widen it here, and you're screwing the insert out and moving all that. Not a bad not a bad tool, especially one of my favorite things in this tool is this. It's, I believe that's a quarter. No, it's definitely not a quarter. Scratch that. It's an eighth. That's not no quarter, I can tell you. But the mind is elsewhere, I suppose. It's about an eighth, which is about what the draft hole is, and that's longer than your typical drill bit, or at least the one that I always seem to find. So it's nice having that longer piece to be able to get into longer pipes. So, but that's always a good tool. The only downside, in my opinion, of that tool is that you can potentially, and it'll be necessarily with anything, but that one, you can also potentially gouge the bowl of the pipe, which is, your hole right here. And before I had any of these, I never used butter knife or case knife. I would just use mostly a dull pocket knife, which is not the best idea either, for obvious reasons. So, you found a pipe. You want to try out that pipe. You have a few options. First option is digging in and looking up some of the folks out there who take and essentially restore pipes. There we go. That restore pipes. I'm not restoring anything. I'm just going to show you an easy way and or cheap way if you don't want to invest in it, because you don't know if you want to continue this, to clean it out and make it smokable. So, most likely you'll use an old butter knife or some, hopefully a very, very dull knife if you don't have access to any tools like I'm showing you. But if you're starting out fresh, you probably don't. But another little item that I particularly enjoy is this little piece right here. And all it is, your T-handle, and you have 4 inserts. This is your smallest. And it goes all the way up to this jewel being clearly the biggest. And you always want to start out with your smallest, even though if the hole is bigger, you may, like I had some pipes that, the hole is bigger, but as the bowl goes down or the chamber goes down, it all narrows. And I know if I use one that fits the top part, it's not going to take care of the bottom part. So it's always important to start out with the smallest one. So, and this one's not particularly dirty, but we're just doing it all for just because. Ain't gonna hurt that. So, yeah, the chamber, and I'll tell you something else, folks, particularly for me, because I think my vision is slowly darkening, if that's the thing, and I think it is. Get you a little light. You can buy the little cheapy ones for like $1, something like that. This is actually a very nice flashlight. A coworker gave me. He's actually legally blind, but he one thing is he can see a little bit out of one eye, and his eyesight, like it's takes longer for him to walk from outside to inside because his eye, what little bit of vision he has, doesn't adjust as fast as everyone's typical stuff. So he gave me this. It's very fancy in my mind. It's a O-Light. Many different settings. What I really enjoy about it is this is a magnet. But regardless of all that you probably didn't need to know, get your light so you can see. See? For me to actually see anything, I have to do this to do it properly. So, like so, I potentially hold it in my mouth so I can see in the bowl and kind of see what I'm doing to make sure everything's pushed through, which everything respectively comes through okay. Kind of moves up and down, or I do. Make sure it's all out. And that just, gives you a good clean draft hole. Now, for your typical small cleaning, anyone who has or has been around pipes enough or been able to go to a shop should be familiar with this, if it shows you. And it's basically a kind of a sweetener. It deodorizes a lot. If you find yourself an old pipe, it will most definitely, well, not most definitely, but 9 times out of 10 you need to clean it out because it's going to stink. And anyone who's been smoking pipes long enough should potentially know. Well, it depends on long enough. Anyway, you'll get a sour pipe. And all that is everything that gets stuck in the stem and in here can potentially come back on you, touch your tongue, about make you gag. That's known as a sour pipe. And you typically want to have something like this on hand to do that. To clean it out, I mean. However, if you are just starting out, obviously you probably don't want to sink a bunch of money into it on essentially something you've just found or thinking about wanting to try. I recommend that you go in the bathroom and get yourself some mouthwash, which is what this is. And I just put it in the little thing that way I can have essentially the best of both worlds. And this is something that we all put in our mouth. It's supposed to deodorize and clean out. So, yeah. It'll work in a pinch. If you don't have that, or you don't want to put the money in it just yet, it's fine. You dip it in there, and I've got a little bit too much on that one, but you get your little dab, insert it, kind of working around like so. That just taking all the crap, the gunk of ages past, or you know, your last few smokes, she'll come out looking like that. Yeah. Not the worst thing I've ever smelled, not the best either. So, and typically, that is the best way to just freshen up the pipe, especially if it's something that you don't want to put a whole lot of money on. So, you know, obviously the pipe sweetener there costs a little bit of money. Not a whole lot, mind you. But if this is just a trial by fire and you're just thinking, you know, what the hey, worth a shot, get you some mouthwash. So what we have here is a reamed and respectively cleaned pipe. And the best one thing that you definitely absolutely want to do is take this pipe, put it down, put it up, put it somewhere about 24 hours, at least 24 hours. Particularly, you just make it a habit, 24 hours. Particularly if you use it with this they claim that with that, 24 hours, because it's, you know, it's like a small or light alcohol base, which also you don't want to get it on the pipe or the stem, by the way, because it can potentially tarnish it. But you don't want to smoke it right after you clean it, because that's going to come back and burn your tongue. And if you've never smoked a pipe before, the last thing that I want to know about is someone freshly cleaned a pipe and burnt their tongue and don't want to fool with pipe smoking anymore. So, at almost 18 minutes, folks, y'all take care of yourselves out there. And remember, kindness costs us nothing.